left, and yeah, he's going to succumb to a miserable defeat. But before that, I wanted to show off a little bit, and I wanted to just show him how much more power. And hello, everybody. Welcome back. Today, something a little different. Okay? So, the recording style is different. You'll see it in the first round. Anyways, today we're doing Mordenkainen. Okay, Mordenkainen, which is the planeswalker for the blue. There's a dog illusion, plenty of things, alright? There's like +2 loyalty, -2, and the -10. The +2 is draw 2 cards and put a card from your hand on the bottom of your library. The -2 creates a dog, a blue dog illusion creature token with this creature's power and toughness are each equal to the number of cards in your hand times 2. Basically, something like that. Anyways, and the last one is each exchange your hand and library, then shuffle, you get an emblem with you have no maximum hand size. Okay, so it's pretty good because you get to you get to switch your hand with the library, but it's also risky because, I mean, like, then you only have like probably a certain amount of turns to play. Like, you probably only have 3 turns to play. So not too great as a -10, but anyways, we don't even want the -10 honestly at this point here. So but there is a reason why that -10 is there. Anyways, we'll look at that in another video because that's not this deck. This deck here is going to have a wizard class instead. This already gives you no maximum hand size, and it does a whole bunch of other things like draw 2 cards, and for each card you draw, +1/+1 counter. This is also a Shipwreck Dowser, which is a merfolk wizard with prowess. So when Shipwreck Dowser enters the battlefield, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Now the prowess is whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Also, the Soulblade Djinn. So this one is a flying. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. So it's kind of like the Clever Lumamancer. The Stormwing Entity, which is flying with prowess. This spell costs 3 less to cast when you cast instant sorcery spell like Opt. So you can put this out on turn 3, literally, because it'll only cost you 2 with Opt. If you do Opt, but anyways, I think you'll see it in this video because I mess it up anyways. But you could do that. And you scry for 2. Now, so with the wizard class now you have Jwari Disruption, which is a counter spell or mana. I only have 2 of these. You don't want too many. We have the Reign of Rejuvenation, which gains you, I think, 4 cards, and you have to discard 2. And with the wizard class and the counters, this is really great. So we're really heavily focused on drawing a lot of cards and having creatures that huge creatures. So big, very strong, powerful, and toughness creatures. Very tough and powerful creatures, which is why we are our mid-range to long-range deck. And even our counterspell has, wow, what timing! Counterspell has an option to draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards, which will, activate the Wizards class or Teferi's Protection. Now, Teferi's Protection, we're not really a mill deck, but we can put Teferi's Protection in hopes that maybe they put down big creatures that we can hopefully counter with Jwari's Disruption. But that one there, the dragon, is also good because he draws a card and he has a ward of 4. So that's really good. And he's a 5/5 flying, which is nothing to be messed around with. You'll see how good that comes in later on. So whenever he hits the opponent, the dragon, he can draw a card. And that activates the wizard class again. So everything pretty much synergizes really well. I'm into the story. Since I have Teferi's tutelage, well, actually I wanted into the story, but and Teferi's tutelage can be a backup. You never know. You can always have a good Teferi's tutelage plan to like kind of mill the opponent. This is also good, the Frost Trickster. I really like this card because it allows you to, whenever it enters the battlefield, you can tap one of the opponent's creatures for a turn, and it's a flying with 2/2. So it only costs like I think 3 mana. So basically what you want to do at the beginning, the early stages of the game, is you're trying to counter and defend and make like best decisions possible on what to counter, what creatures to counter. So to get into the mid range, once you get into the mid range, you put out things like Teferi or the Frost thing. Hopefully you have like other things as well. Hopefully you have like a wizard class out and you have like some ops in hand. You could use the ops. Don't be shy because you're a card drawing deck. So I mean, like, draw the cards. Don't worry about it. Really, like if you have enough mana to Jwari Disruption a spell and you can opt, do it. I mean, like, you don't worry about gaining every single counter. You got plenty of ways to gain cards in this deck, particularly. Now, you can change a few things, like maybe the Teferi's Tutelage. I don't know. I personally like it because of Into the Story, and I don't have too many Into the Stories because, well, first of all, it's not a card that I don't really like mill decks, but I mean, I will be making more, but like even drawing cards, like I'm not into the blue too much, so like it doesn't really interest me to get too many of them. But 2 is fine, honestly. I mean, it's fine. It works. It absolutely works. It's still 4 mana. You know what I mean? Like it's not nothing when you're paying it. So it doesn't really change anything, I think, between Rain Rejuvenation and that one. The damage is in the card and the action itself at that point. So I don't think it's that much of a big deal. This is a great card. Don't put too many of these. Don't put too many of these because you don't want any tapped land. We're running 22, but this deck runs at, I think, 3.5 or 3.6. I'm about to go check that out soon. You'll see that on screen. So but somehow the mana comes in. Through all the card drawing, you get your mana, so you're not too worried, but you do need to have the mana like untapped as much as possible. So the Jwari's Disruption is really an emergency mana or an emergency counter spell, and it's something you can discard later on in the game, which doesn't bother you too much. Or I mean, if you have choice between that and a mana, anyways, it's always good to have on hand. Like it could off-put the opponent. Sometimes that 1 mana can totally mess up the opponent's play. So this is the deck. I hope you enjoy it. You're gonna see the videos now. The second battle is really the craziest, the one where everything really pops off and you see all the counters going on. The first one was okay. I mean, it's a little calmer, but you'll see it. It's really awesome how this deck plays. You see everything play out. Everything comes into play in these 2 videos, and they're all back to back. I got 2 out of 3. And that was it. So I hope you enjoy the video. Like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And yeah, let's get into it. Let's check out this new deck. It's awesome. Now it works. And that's what counts. Let's go. Okay, round number 1. So, doing this episode a little differently today because apparently my microphone decided not to record anything. So, what do we have in hand? Great. So I'm commentating over a video that I played. I'm basically reacting to my own video. And this deck right here really surprised me. Now, like I said, like it's the mono blue counter deck. Like it's nuts when it like goes off and like everything starts like +1/+1 counters and the whole thing goes off. It's really awesome. It really feels overpowering. I had anyways, you'll see it. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody here, so okay. Well, so here I'm just attacking, regular thing. I think my plan is to basically get the prowess out. This I don't know what it's called. The bottom one, yeah, this one here, Shipwreck. That's the one. So, eventually, also hopefully get to put out the I never can pronounce his name. The Planeswalker. That one. That's the one. Yeah. Good job. Passed me. Wow. I was on the ball. Look at that. I knew what I was doing. Or I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. Yeah. I always know what I'm doing. Okay. Yeah, so I hit him for 2, and Okay, so at this point here, I'm panicking. Okay, I'm stressing out a little bit, but you know me. This is a mid to long range deck. You know, I keep the faith, and I go with you know, the attacks. So I get the +1/+1 counter on the prowess thing, the shipwreck one, and then I get a 6/6. So I think I attack here. I go up, yeah, yeah. I attack with all of them, causing like 6 damage. So they're down to 10, I think. I don't think they block. I don't remember. I just played this game honestly, and I don't even remember. Like literally played this game like maybe I was waiting for the audio file to load, and I spent like actually like an hour, and I kept coming back to it, and I saw it wasn't loading until I noticed, well, well, no kidding, it wasn't loading because there was no audio file in the first place. So yeah, joke's on me, I guess. But anyways, here I'm still not stressed anymore. I know he's going to kill my planeswalker, but I still feel like I'm in a pretty good position with the cards that I have in hand, and this isn't too threatening. And now the damage is done pretty much with the Binding of the Gods. The Binding of the Gods, I think, is not a big threat at this point. It's already done the damage, and this is a great play here. Look, the prowess comes out. I have just enough mana. I take out the shipwreck, the other shipwreck. I put down a prowess. Well, anyways, you know, the Stormwing Entity. Okay, I remember, I'm new to Magic. Okay, I'm pretty new to Magic as a whole. I mean, never mind just Arena, as a whole. So at this point here, I mean, it's a powerful deck. I've tweaked this deck quite a bit. I've played with it for a while, working on it, and this variation of the deck, I don't know why it feels right. It feels like just the right amount of whatever you need, you know? I mean, I guess you could take out the shipwreck, but I mean, it is good to have 2 of those. Like, I don't really know what I would take out, you know, because you can't overdo it with the with that one there, the dragon flying, because I mean, or otherwise they do cost a lot. I mean, they cost 5, you know. So if you don't have any spells to cast or enough spells, and the tapping is pretty nice too. It's an early drop. You can use it as a block. We are mid-range to late, and obviously over here the opponent has barely any options left, and yeah, he's going to succumb to a miserable defeat. But before that, I wanted to show off a little bit, and I wanted to just show him how much more power I had. But I don't really know actually why he did that, because he didn't seem like in that bad of a position to me. But I mean, obviously he lost because of the flying, right? Yeah, anyways. So, still commenting over because, yeah. Lost. And the worst part is, I came back and I didn't touch a thing. I just hit the record button and everything was working. So try to figure that out. I don't know how I got the video footage in the first place, because literally I did not touch a single thing. I didn't touch the microphone. I didn't touch any wires. I just went back. I clicked the record button. I set it up anyways, and clicked the record, and it was working. Like, what kind of mystery is this? Like, how does this happen? I have no clue. So, oh, this was okay. I remember this. Yeah, this is gonna take a while. Okay, because the opponent, I don't know what the opponent is working on, was thinking, but this is a good match. This is a really good matchup. This is really one worth to watch all the way till the end. This is a super good matchup, and these were 2 back-to-back matches. As always, as most of the time. If they're not, it's because well, you'll see the loss. Anyways, I'll show it. But if I don't do the you know, 2 out of 3, I fix the deck. You know, I perfect it until it's a 2 out of 3. That's what I can tell you. Now, how many times in a row you're gonna get 2 out of 3? That depends, but that's up to Okay, there we go. Okay, anyways, enough of that, right? Let's get back to the deck. So the deck is pretty powerful. You're gonna see it in this video actually how crazy it gets. This is so good. This is such a. I was so happy to catch this. Because like I said, I was playing with variations of this for a long time, and it never quite came like this. So I'm guessing that my card selection is really, really good. So, and I really did have fun playing with this deck. I mean, the Teferi's Tutelage is, like I said, like it's sort of a backup. You know, it's if all else fails. I mean, I thought it was maybe going to be a good idea. But you could probably replace it with something else, either another creature or more card drawing. I just found that like with also, it's also like you also draw a card with this. So I mean, anyways, this opponent was a little slow at the beginning, but he speeds it up. Starting from now, you'll see he'll put down the land right away. There you go, and now he'll pick up his speed here. But he gets unlucky a little bit at the beginning, I'll admit, but he is a life gain deck, so it's not all that lucky. And I did have Teferi's Tutelage, which does mess up, you know, your draws. It can really, really, totally, you know, be really bad for drawing. So here I let it go. I'm a little bit confused. I don't really know what he's going to do next. He's done 2 in a row, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll take a chance. And thank goodness that I did, because you'll see what he gets next. Well, what he does next. Well, what she does next. Jason, I guess is he. Okay, so at this point here, I pick out the mana. I put the wizard class on the battlefield. There you go. And you see, he lost a lot of mana there. And look what he pulls out. Look what he's gonna play. Oh, and it's another one. 3 of them. Can you believe it? Wow. Amazing. So he doesn't do anything else after this. He's pretty calm, which is good because, you know, where we are. And I have my first creature here, and I have an option. So I think I do that. Yeah, I draw 2 cards. I have you know, no limit to my hand size. So I'm like, great. And I get the Planeswalker. I get to mill him. Look, I milled him a lot of good cards there. Plenty of good, helpful cards at this stage in the game. And he pulls out the... Yeah, there was a weird play from the opponent, but I think he was so discouraged that he just... And I don't know, maybe is this a play that, like, maybe he was feeling stressed, so I forced him to put out a big creature? I don't know. Is like that's what I was sort of... that's another thing I was thinking of. That was another strategy to the Teferi's Tutelage, was maybe by putting it and the opponent realizing it's a mill deck, maybe we can, you know, psychologically. So he takes the Teferi's Tutelage. But I guess he wasn't really worried about it, though, to be honest, because he had drawn a lot of cards, and I did mill 1 Banishing Light, but he had another one. And here I go for that, the counters, yeah, because, well, obviously I'm going to get a 6/6. Which is pretty good. Well, I think, yeah, I get a 6/6. He's not going to... Oh, I didn't attack. I think I had forgotten that... Oh, no, I didn't really care at this point because I felt really safe. And he is a life gain deck, so I figured that the best thing to do is to stay defensive until I've got enough... you know, enough firepower to take him down, which was ultimately a great decision in the long run, because you will see that this does go really... I mean, both ways, it really gets intense. And now, look, he caught up on the mana, so everything is fine. And this is where it starts getting a little hectic here. I mean, it's not the craziest. Well, you'll see how much it pops off. That was really crazy, because like, and the battle is a good one too. The milling, I think, came in handy. Everything comes in handy in this. Like, you really see everything come into play. I really love this. So, yeah, I put the counters on the flying. Now, the flying is vulnerable after he attacks, so he doesn't have ward. That's another reason, I think I mentioned that before, why I didn't want to attack with him. Wanted to keep him on defensive. Now I'm feeling super powerful at the table, right? Even if he hits me for 3, I'm not worried. If I destroy a token, that thing's not coming back as a flyer, because it has to be a creature, a spell, you know, like a normal creature. And Yeah, I guess I felt super great. I mean, he could have taken down my my planeswalker, but this is where it's strange. Look, he could have taken it down because I could have only blocked the low one, but look what he does. He doesn't do anything. Now I don't know if he was discouraged or maybe he was having some difficulty with lag or frame rates, whatever. And I don't really know what was going on. The game did seem a little choppy to me, so I don't know if he was the one causing kind of like I maybe a phone call or an answering. I don't know, you know. But anyways, he comes back here and he does that, and this doesn't scare me at all. So I guess that's why he probably ran out. He felt like he was running out of time, so he did an attack. And now here, put down the mana. Look at that. We have so much damage on the table here. It's crazy, and we're just about to amp it up a notch, just a notch. Okay, so you're never really worried about the illusion dog. You know, it's really worth to make like two. I mean, again, there could be like wipes and stuff, but nevertheless, that's a big creature. You know, like having two 10/10s is no joke. Look at that. Now it's a 14/14. Well, it'll be like it'll be a 12, 13/13. But then then I do an opt, and I get an extra 1/1, and I get an extra 1/1 here. This is nuts. Watch this. Watch this. This just goes crazy right here. But he is still scary because he does gain life. But you'll see what happens here. Watch this. It does get me a little worried because I mean they don't have trample my creatures, right? Which is probably maybe something I don't know. I don't really know of a card, but I'm sure there's got to be something that can in the blue, or maybe even if you have to splash into green. I mean it's not the end of the world, honestly. There are so many ways to do that, and that would probably be ultimately a really good decision. However you can get trample for whatever amount of creatures, because look, two creatures are dealing like over 10 damage here on the table. So, and they're going to be dealing more when my turn comes. So, it's absolutely absolutely bonkers. I have to say, I can draw two more cards with the counter spell, which is what I do on my coming turn, which gains me another two counters. It's nonstop. It's absolutely, and it'll give me another three counters actually because of the flying Djinn element thing. Totally bonkers. And the opponent obviously has like really no, you know, not much of a fight. But I mean, he does have good cards. I mean, he is using good cards, and I did mill him for quite a bit. So I don't think I ever went and looked what I milled, but we did see like some clerics, early play clerics. So he could have had the one that gains the +1/+1 counters whenever you gain health. And look at this. Here we are. Look at that. Wow. Wow, that is insane. That is absolutely insane. Plus, I'll get an extra counter for drawing another card. Look, oh no, there's more. Look, there's more. It doesn't stop. It just doesn't stop. It is one of the wildest decks I think I've created in a while. Well, it's not the... I mean, obviously, it's like a mono white deck, you know, really. Like, you can make a mono white deck like this at an earlier stage. But you're not building like stuff like this a lot of the times. Like the game is over usually before you make like your first 10/10, you know. I mean, it does happen, but it's not quite the same feeling. It's blue, okay? It's mono blue, and all the counters you're getting. It's just fun. It's just so fun. The Planeswalker is great, man. The Planeswalker. I mean, obviously the -10 isn't really necessary for this deck. It's actually absolutely like, yeah, useless. Well, it's not useless, but I can't go look at it now to show you guys. But it's not useless, but I mean, it's not great. It gives an emblem that you know, no limit to your hand size and stuff. But okay, so the opponent here, he takes his time, and I think he pushes the ropes for a long time. He blocks, I think, with everything. So no, not everything. So he keeps the luminous thing, which doesn't bring back anything because there was a token and a flying. So I'm not sure if that's really that was the play the opponent really wanted to make. But then again, like, he didn't have really a choice to block flyers because those are the one that are, causing the most amounts of damage. Well, I mean, even the 10-10, but I mean, there's only one of those, and he can make those 2/2s quite easily. So the opponent here, I guess, has figured that, yeah, there's practically no way he is coming back from the next turn. Like, from my turn, there's no way he's gonna bounce back from that. So he's just dropping everything. He has no flyers. He's got nothing really threatening to me. And I just absolutely take advantage of it. Like an absolute champ. And I actually disadvantage him with, okay, I do that. And then I'll tap his, I think I tapped the flying. Well, I could have tapped it. There's so many things I could have done. Look at this. Look, there's another, look, more counters. How many counters do you want? Huh? How many? Ask me. Look at this. Counters. Beautiful, beautiful counters. Look at that. There's over, look, 30, 42 damage on the table right now. That is insane. Watch. Just absolutely gave him no outs. Look at this. And I can look. Yeah, more. Yeah, more. Yeah. No, there's more. I could have even made another dog. I could have made another 8/8. I could have done so many things. It's not even, it doesn't even make sense. Look at now, but look, I do more. Look. Everything. Look at this. Come on. Come on. It's been my turn for the past, like, I think 10 minutes, honestly. I felt bad playing like this. But I'm glad that he let it go, go to this length. So what do I do? What am I doing here? Oh, I got a phone call here for something private. And yeah, I think I was playing at this moment here and I was on the phone. So that's actually pretty good that I didn't have to edit that out. Well, I mean, I was going to edit. No, it's not, actually. It's not at all. I could have done it. I would have done it. It would have been fine. But, anyways, here. Yeah. I mean, just absolutely overkilling right here. I mean, there's nothing more to say. I could have done another opt here. I don't know. I could have done anything. Look at this. How much? 40, 46, 49, 50, 51 damage. And plus the rest. 55, 58 damage on the table. Look at this. 20 health. And that's against a life gain deck, which did gain life. And look. And complete utter astonishment. The opponent is barely able to comprehend what he has facing in front of him. Yes. That's right. Okay. A little more. And I think he was, but honestly, I'm not sure. I think the opponent was lagging, honestly, but I still don't think he really could have done anything that would have, like, been a menace. Because, well, I mean, he has 2 cards left in his deck. And, like, in his hand, I mean, and, yeah. No, there was absolutely no way. No way. And that's how you win a game. See that? You're going to be at a Platinum Tier 3 soon. That'll be something.